Wow, cannot eh. We have to start demoting people. We cannot have so many 3. $8块米泡吃的腰辣。谢谢。Hello, we are in Central and we have a lineup today. We are starting at one of the top 5 hawker centers in Singapore, Maxwell, at Hock Lai Seng, and I got their $8 chef recommendation. I think there's only one dish on the menu with different amount of ingredients, starting from the 450 version. But as always, we want to give it the best chance. And $8 buys you these beautiful noodles. You can already see the separation. The sauce is very nice piece of flat fish, and this soup that has 2 fishball, 1 meatball, pork liver, fish cake, prawn, peeled really nicely. In fact, this is my favorite way for it to be served. You can bite it without using your hands, and then you can do the tut-tut. Minced meat and really tenderly cooked pork slices. There's almost like a tinge of pink. Okay, yep. Is it a bit sick that the noodles feel nice on my chopstick? You all remember what I said in episode 1? Bak Chor Mee, really very nice. There are so many hits that I might not be able to cover them all. The most obvious one is the noodle sauce. This balance of flavor, I cannot single one ingredient out. It is balanced so well. Most impressively, if I had not spotted the ketchup at the counter, I would not be able to tell that there's ketchup in this. It does such a great job of binding all the different flavors together while remaining incognito. It's so well incorporated that I'm doubting my memory. Did I really see ketchup just now? Is this ketchup? Noodle texture is good. Nice big piece of teepor. And the bak chor is actually braised. You can see that it carries sauce instead of being plainly cooked like almost every other bak chor mee so far. And that's just the noodles. We move on to the soup, in which I don't know what soup this is. There are too many ingredients. I cannot taste it all. I cannot say that there is one flavor that characterizes this soup. What stands out are these pieces of cooked garlic. You see these brown bits? They are very soft and melt in your mouth. And it gives such a nice rounded garlicky kick to the soup. But if I were to describe the taste, it is a very friendly, porky, cabbagey kind of base. The one that will go with your sancai tang. And the ingredients inside are good. Everything I can talk about are hits. Their homemade fishball is above average, nice and cute, very nice snap to it, nice bounce on the meatball. The sliced pork and the liver have been treated, either velveting or some sort of tenderization. You can almost see the texture of the pork is so nice. Color wise, it looks like the pork liver is super overcooked, but the texture is still great. So I have to imagine there is some sort of treatment. There might even be some tong cai in this soup. I really cannot tell, it's beyond me. I cannot give any miss. Y'all have anything? I don't have any miss. Even $8 is a steal for this quality, for this quantity. And even if you somehow don't want this deal, there is the 450 version. Yeah, Phew. Let's wrap it up here. We'll go over and visit grandfather. Hello. 8块干刺的要辣米爆. Thank you. We are now at Amoy, at Arthur Fishball Noodles. And shout out to that one viewer who told me that they are related. But even if I didn't know that, I will bet money that they are. A dozen bak chor mees into the series by now, and these two are identical. I got the same $8 options, and even down to the offerings, you get noodles, flatfish, lard, 2 fishball, 1 meatball. Deja vu? Even the way the pork slices are treated and the tenderness of the pork liver are the same. And the melty garlic chips. I got a really nice big piece here. Well. Let's see which is better. Youthful enterprise or age and wisdom? If I did the hits and misses, I would just be repeating myself. So while I didn't intend to do this today, we have ourselves a food war. The soup goes to utter just by a little. It is just a tiny bit sweeter and more robust. It might be the garlic chips being in a bigger piece, such that every delta feels more different. And you can see the quality of soup here, where they have pork bones going right in the basin. That's it. Fishball, liver, meatball, pork slices, minced meat, seaweed, all no difference. Prawn quality, I have to give it to Hock Lai Seng. While this prep is very nice, they even butterfly it for you, which really shows care for the customer. The freshness of the prawn is not as good. You can see that the head just falls off after a few stirs. And then to the noodles, significantly tilted towards Hock Lai Seng. Arthur's noodles are a bit too heavy. Like you can see, the noodles don't want to separate, they don't want to leave each other. It's like a young couple at departure. It might be a combination of starch in the noodles, the cook on the noodles, or the egg content, but the noodle texture feels less whippy, it is less 爽口. Also, the noodle sauce is not as refined as Hock Lai Seng, ironically. Here the ketchup is more obvious, and it is pretty heavy on this ikan bilis chili. I can even pick one out for you to see here. The taste is very forward and not as rounded as Hock Lai Seng. It is significantly sweeter. This is not necessarily a miss. I mean, some people might like this, but I prefer the all-roundedness of Hock Lai Seng. If I walked around here and I can only choose one, I'll choose Hock Lai Seng. Sorry Hock Lai Seng fans, queue gonna be even longer now. Alright, let's move on to Veerasamy Rd for our last bak chor mee of the day.
40分钟啊
40分钟。
对
OK。
左右，还有什么？
一个小的肉串面、米泡干要辣吃的，
还有
就这样。
5块半。好，号码拿着。
好，谢谢。We are now at Veerasamy at Jing Si Lai. And speaking of family, just now we had grandfather-grandson duo. This is a sister-brother, if I'm not wrong. So, we have the signature Siong thick cut liver. A little thinner than the other outlet. I wonder it's because I got the small version. And the soup is significantly fatter. It's almost like that tonkotsu creaminess. Minced meat is really pink. And coming from the previous noodles, these noodles feel, at least on the chopstick, significantly more Q. Let's give this a go. Wow, cannot eh. We have to start demoting people. We cannot have so many 3 plates. We start with the noodle texture. I know I should treat this as independent and I shouldn't get biased by what I just had, but the noodle texture is so different. It is so cute and bouncy, such that I think it kind of shows up on the screen, no? You see how they sort of move when I pull it up? I want to say this bounciness is perhaps one of the top so far in the series. And then combined with the sauce, a simple one, sambal, shallots, and roasted garlic, I believe. It is just so effective. This combination of the sauce plus that superb texture, right, makes this one of the best bowls so far. Not the best, but amongst. And then we move on to the soup. Quality soup, you can see the density. The 肉渣 is working together to deny you from seeing through it. I thought it might be the creaminess of tonkotsu, but no, you don't get that smooth feeling on your lips. And then to what's inside, the fishball is whatever, but the rest of it is very well cooked. The pork slices have been velveted, so it's very, very tender. The minced pork, you can see that it's pink. And this only happens when you cook it at a low temperature over a long time, such that you don't break down the compounds that are giving it its color. It is safe to eat, just that it looks pink. And then to, of course, Siong signature, the liver. I got 3 pieces here, all impeccably cooked. It's like this one hue of pink, tender, no off flavors. Nobody comes close to handling pork liver like Siong does. But there are still misses. Coming for the last pot, Arthur, it is obvious that this soup is simpler. Not that it is a bad thing. It is just very straightforward, sweet and porky. In fact, it tastes a little bit like pork porridge. Very sweet, homely pork flavor. I can see quite a few people preferring this profile, so I won't say it's a hard miss. The one that is more obvious is that the pork slices are rather thin by Siong standard. If I compare it to Rong Fa, this might be half the thickness. While it's very well cooked, I don't think it's thick enough for me to consider this a thick cut liver. Still very, very good though. I feel so silly for hesitating on the one place. The past few bowls of Bak Chor Mee has been like Bak Chor Mee all stars. Anyway, I'm gonna think about it. I'll see you guys at the cafe. We are now at Acoustics Coffee Bar along Serangoon Road, and I got myself an Acoustics Cloud. So this is an iced milk coffee with a cloud cream and maybe cocoa powder. Let's try this. Interesting. Iced milk coffee is what you expect, but the cream on top is very thick and sweet, like ice cream sweet. This is almost like an affogato with different textures. Anyway, recap. What an incredible series it has been so far. Previously at this point of the series, I may have 1 or 2 spots that I can confidently recommend, but now I have like 5, 6. And speaking of recommendations, I know a lot of you differ from me in what you prefer in a Bak Chor Mee, specifically the funk level. A few of you have mentioned that you went down to 25 and it's not quite for you, and perfectly understandable. I like the funk, so take note of the description if you're intending to go down to any one of these places. One of the first things I've said in this series is that I want a cleansing soup, and today's Arthur's and Hock Lai Seng are perhaps the best example of it, because it serves 2 purposes. 1, it refreshes the palate, and 2, it stores all the ingredients inside, keeping it warm and tender. And while I was right in saying that a good soup will really help Bak Chor Mee, I was definitely wrong when I said I'm very tempted to say that Siong had some sort of treatment to the pork liver before blanching it, but that seems unlikely as well. I don't think anybody does that, because it's obvious that liver typically do not taste like this. And I'm a bit worried because I don't know how to do it. So when it comes to my Bak Chor Mee, I need to figure it out before then. If any of you know how they do it, Siong, please DM me. I obviously won't reach their standard, but I do need my own Bak Chor Mee to have tender liver. I actually don't know if it's that I love the dish too much, or if that there are really so many good Bak Chor Mees. What do y'all think? 1 plate I'll walk for the Bak Chor Mee, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the Bak Chor Mee, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in the city for the Bak Chor Mee. And the Bak Chor Mees today get 3, 2, 3. I don't like it. I don't like giving such a good Bak Chor Mee too. But if we don't want half the list to be 3 plates, we need to be a little picky with it. And don't worry, that means that some of the 2 plates are going down as well. Maybe even some of the 1s. Because we still have 3 of the most recommended Bak Chor Mees left in next week's Central Part 2. Half of you here can probably guess all 3. Maybe some of you can already guess the rating. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you all next week in town. Bye!